Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my weekly deck reviews. This week I almost forgot to film this video. Oh no, I was really distracted today. We had a really rambunctious Self-Worth Saturday live chat today that just has me all sorts of discombobulated, but it was really fun. There was a lot of laughing, a lot of not staying on topic, so if you are trying to watch that one back, good luck. Have fun, and I'll see you on the other side. But as for the decks that I've been working with this week, so I have a dog that is now insisting that she come in right freaking now. I have been working with, oh, first of all, if you're new here, welcome. Please stick around. This is a video I like to put up every single Sunday morning, and I talk about the decks that I've been working with for the past week. So I typically work with a dedicated tarot deck and a dedicated oracle deck for the week. This week I have been working with the Tarot Fauna. This is by Devin Strickler. It's an independent deck. The art is by Brittany Burkhard. The backings of this deck are so cute. It looks like that. And this is a really vibrant deck. The colors are really, really bright, and when I first opened this and started flipping through it, I thought that this might actually unseat my other animal decks, or at least not my, I don't know what I want to say here. I thought maybe it was going to move into a fast favorite position, but as I worked with it, I found that it wasn't sinking in. I don't know how to say that better, except to say that as sweet and cute as this art is, I found that sometimes when I would pull a card, so the Three of Torches, for example, this is a great example. So this is the Three of Wands, and I would normally associate this card with the embarking on a journey, the beginning of sort of finding your purpose, the first tangible steps you're taking, and I don't see that in this image. Some of them were good. Like I can see some celebrating and some fun times here. I think partly what attracted me to this deck was the otters. So the Suit of Cups is river otters, which are among my favorite creatures ever. They are so cute. Their faces are so sweet. This really is a sweet looking deck. And for the most part, I think it does a really great job of giving you good feelings for each card. I think it's fine. It just left me a little underwhelmed, and I was a little bit disappointed because I do have, I think partly, let me see if I can finish a thought. I think partly my issue with this deck, if I could call it an issue, because I did enjoy it well enough, I think it's that now that I have the Brady Tarot, this one just fell short for me. The Brady has so much depth to it that I felt like this one didn't quite tick all the boxes I wanted it to tick. That being said, some of these images just do a beautiful job. Like, look at this Page of Rocks and how, like, resourceful he's being. I love that. Temperance, I'm not so sure. The Knight of Shells, perfect. Love it. Love the way he's going after that fishy. Like, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. I feel like to some degree this is a bit of a hug deck, and maybe that's part of my issue, is that when I want a hug deck, I'm going to go for my Mons Tarot or my Crystal Unicorn Tarot pretty much every time. So I feel like maybe part of the issue is that with a big enough collection like I have, I already have decks that sort of fill the hug deck niche. And for nature decks or animal decks, I have the Brady Tarot for the really kind of balanced National Geographic natureiness. And I have my, what's it called? I can't, it's so late and I can't think of the name of it. I have another animal deck that doubles as an oracle that for some reason I keep freaking spacing the name of. And I mentioned it actually last week because I was like, oh, this one might unseat that one. That one is Paulina Cassidy, and nope, it's gone. You guys will, somebody's going to be screaming at the video right now like, Lisa, it's this, and I know it's hanging behind me, I could go get it, and I'm just like, no. But I will say a few things. For starters, oh, I love this Ace of Torches. Look at how vibrant that is. I think the art is lovely. I think the fact that you get to see one animal moving through an entire suit is also lovely. Some of these cards just nail it, and some don't. And I don't know if part of it is that, I didn't jive with the last Devin Strickler deck that I had, which was a moon-based deck that was beautiful, but I ended up trading it. And I have a feeling that this one, I don't know. I feel like it's a lovable deck, and I don't feel like I love it enough, if that makes any sense. So I might see about rehoming this one. And it's not because, like I said, it's not because I don't like it. I do. It's just, I almost feel like it's a little redundant in my collection. And maybe that's what it is. And again, the artwork is so beautiful and so sweet. And the personality in these creatures is just amazing. And I think, actually, I might have already mentioned this, but I think this is that linen cardstock. It has a bit of a texture to it. Shuffles like a dream, if I haven't already said that. It's beautiful. It's just, underwhelmed. Underwhelmed is the only word I can think of. But art is beautiful. I feel like it's cohesive. It has its own world. Like, there's so many things about this that are lovely. And I may wait a bit before deciding, but I feel like it deserves to be really loved. And I feel like it didn't quite get there for me. So there's that. That said, this is actually kind of a really wonderful memento of my time at Northwest Tarot Symposium. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. So if you're watching this, that's my real reactions after working with it for a week. I just wanted more. I can't quite put my finger on it. The oracle deck that I have been working with this week is a Curious Oracle by Holly Fount. Now, at the beginning of this week, I mentioned that, oh, this is funny. So these are the backings, and the card that's actually on the front right now is actually the card that is also on the back, which is the Veil for Twilight. I really had hoped to read the PDF guidebook that Holly has written for this deck, but her Etsy shop is on vacation this week, so I can't even buy the digital download, which is such a bummer because I would have totally read it. I'm pretty smitten with this deck, I have to say. It's one of those oracle decks. It's an independent oracle, which is definitely among my favorites for oracle decks to begin with. And it feels very balanced, so it has cards in here for grief and for escape and for death and for all these kinds of things. So it's not just like this nice, fluffy kind of thing. It feels extremely balanced. Oh, I love this card so much. The Journey with the gull. I just love it. I love the cardstock. I love the style of the artwork. I love the texture in the artwork. And this one just kind of blew me away. And I felt like it actually started to do really well when I would read it in groups of 3, which I sometimes find with oracles like this that feel very balanced, is that I want more than a single card draw. So that's something else. But I really, really love this. Now, at the time of filming this, this is out of print, and I don't know if it's coming back. I do believe that Holly Fount is the featured artist for Northwest Tarot Symposium next year. And she does also have, I believe, at least one tarot deck, and if I'm remembering correctly, it's called the Untitled Tarot. I loved this card. I pulled this, and it was really meaningful for me. This is a deck that is based on a system. So the system is 7 sets of 7. So you have each card falls somewhere in a set of 7, and somewhere in a position. So there's 7 positions in each set. Does that make sense? So there's a little fold-out paper that you get with the deck, and it shows you, so it's really tiny writing, which is why I was hoping to get that PDF guidebook, because I think it's going to go a little deeper, but you have a set for body, for emotion, for intuition, for heart, mind, blessings, and spirit. And then in each of those suits or sets, you also have a card for the manifest step, the relationship step, the growth step, the structure step, the lesson step, the healing step, and the epiphany step. And this feels very cohesive, and it makes sense. So for example, let me just pull one and tell you where it was in the set here. So Apple Blossom, which is renewal. Renewal is the set 7, which is spirit, and it's step 3, which is growth. So growth of spirit is renewal. That just makes sense. So they all make sense in their position within their set. This is definitely a deck that I'm going to reach for again and again and again. And for sure, this is going to be one I will be quick to reach for when I want to do divinatory readings with an oracle deck. The small size makes it really portable, which I love. But I just freaking love the artwork. And there's a lot of meaning. The arch is passages. And there's so much about this that I really, really love. So yeah, protection. I feel like I've shown a lot. I've probably shown all the cards between last time and this time. I love the dragon for prosperity. But there's a lot in here. Pride. I think I showed that last weekend. The anchor for stability makes so much sense. Lineage for the tree. I mean, it's well thought out, really, really well done. And obviously, pretty well loved since this was the 4th edition. I think I got one of the very last decks. I bought this at Northwest Tarot Symposium from the artist. And yeah, it's just beautiful. So really, really happy with this one. This was a winner for sure, and I couldn't recommend highly enough. I don't know if there's going to be a 5th edition. I'm not sure yet, but keep an eye out on Holly Fount's Etsy store. I will try to remember to put the link in the description box, but if I forget and you are curious, post a comment, because that I will for sure see, and I will definitely let you know where you can get your hands on this little beauty. I put this in a little Peggy bag, which I think I showed last week, that's got this kind of crochet-ish kind of pattern. This is one of her mini bags, so it's exactly the right size for this deck. It's perfect. Let's talk about what I'm working with this week. So I do my switch on Friday night. So Friday night when I get home from work, I will swap out my decks. So as of today, I am working with, so this, whew, I can't even, my heart's going pitter-patter. So I have a box that I keep one tarot deck in. This did have my Game of Thrones tarot, but I think that one is going to get a Peggy bag. And I've decided to keep this deck in this box because it feels extremely precious. And it is the Tyldwick Tarot. So the Tyldwick is, I'm pretty sure, is out of print. The artist behind this deck passed away unexpectedly last fall, and I believe the family was still fulfilling some orders, but I went to actually look at the website, which when I first bought this deck from from Collect Tarot, who was at Northwest Tarot Symposium, I bought it on the first night vending opened, and by the next morning they were all gone. I think there was 3 or 4 copies. And when I first went to the Malpertuis website to read about this deck, it was still up, but when I went to look at it today, it was not up. So I might check again because there was a bunch of blog posts and things on there that I was hoping to read. But this deck is really unique. I'm going to start showing you images so that you know what I'm talking about, but these are the backings. It's got this really lovely, like, sort of aged vintage look to it. And the artwork is like a collage style. It's really dimly lit, like it feels almost like you're walking into rooms. So all of the cards show spaces. Mine's all shuffled, so that's the 10 of pence. Is it the 10 of pence? Yeah. Or 10 of coins, rather, sorry. The 5 of coins. It feels like you've been let into an old house and you're sort of wandering through the rooms and getting a feeling for who used to inhabit these spaces. That's the Death card. The 5 of Cups features this like outside of a mausoleum. They're just hauntingly beautiful. They pull you in, and it's really, really hard to describe. This 2 of Wands, they call them staves in this deck, feels very sparse. But one of the things, the word that I associate with the 2 of Wands is expanse or possibility. And this really gives that feeling of openness and of, you know, space. The 2 of Coins. The thing about this deck is this is a slow deck. This isn't a deck that you can like pull out 10 cards and just do a quickie reading without thinking about it. You really need to sink into every single image, and I am so excited about working with this week. So I will talk to you more about my experience actually working with it at the end of the week or next weekend's video. It is gold gilded. Now, it's golded in like real French gold leaf or foil of some kind. So it's got this like mirror-like beautiful luxurious shine to it. And I'm like, okay, I need to treat it gently because I can't necessarily get another copy. But at the same time, I don't collect just for the sake of collecting typically. I want to be able to use my things. So the compromise for me is I'm still going to shuffle it. I know some of you are probably cringing. I've hand over handed, and actually sometimes hand over hand tends to bang the cards into one another. So I already have a little, I don't know if you can see that white bit there. I don't know if my deck came with that or if that's from a little bit of shuffling. I don't know if you can see that. It is chipping a little bit around the edge. But the actual gilding, from what I can tell, seems like it's fine. Like normally I feel like when I see that, when I put the cards together, I'll show you the side here. Normally I can see white. Like, and that there isn't actually the one I don't think that's the one. Maybe it is. So maybe there's a little bit of gilding that's missing, but I mean, the gilding looks like it's all there. Maybe a bit. So there's a bit of wear. It makes me nervous, but at the same time, I don't want to be so precious about my things that I don't actually use and enjoy them. So the compromise is it gets a box instead of a bag. So I'm really, really interested. If you have worked with this deck before, I would love to hear your thoughts down below because I'll be working with it throughout the week. So any tips and tricks you have about ways you like to work with this, I feel like I might want to work with it with some like past life readings or something like that. I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but it's precious. So I'm really, really excited to work with that. And then the Oracle deck that I'm working with is the Botanical Inspirations cards. This is a US Games deck. This is really, really lovely. It's got this like parchment paper color to it, and each card has a flower with its full technical name, scientific name, I don't know what you call that. And then at the bottom there's a keyword or message and then a quote. So for example, for the garden heliotrope, I probably said that wrong and I'm so sorry. Devotions and dreams fulfilled is the keyword, and it says the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams, Eleanor Roosevelt. There is deeper messages in the guidebook, but I just thought this looked really beautiful next to older or more vintage decks. And I really liked the messages in this. I do feel like this one probably leans a little bit positive or encouraging or affirmative somehow. So we will see at the end of the week how it works with the Tyldwick, but I'm excited to work with this. This is what the backings look like. I'm not usually the biggest fan of backings that have like words on them. So not necessarily my favorite backing, but it does aesthetically match the deck pretty well. The sides are pretty bright white, so I feel like I might want to edge this in like a linen-y color like that so that it doesn't look quite so bright next to the sort of parchment paper look here. But that is what I'm working with this week. I don't have a bag yet for this, but Peggy does have a fabric that I'm hoping she will make a little small bag for me to put this little guy in. So these are the decks I'm working with this week. I will report back next weekend. And again, if you've worked with any of these decks, or if you have feelings about any of these decks, whether it's the Tarot Fauna, the Tyldwick, the Curious Oracle, or the Botanical Inspirations, drop them down below because I'm super curious to hear what you guys think about these decks and how you play with them and work with them and how they've worked out for you and so forth. So let me know down below. And remember, if you're new here, to subscribe and like this video if you like to see these sorts of recaps and reviews, and I will keep them coming for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye!